Okay. That's that. I forgot to plug this in. Okay. Okay, and then I guess we are good. Yeah, go ahead, Speedy. Go ahead and post. Everything from now counts. Hi, hi, Sarab. Available, Jose, Kitty, and Breeze. Available, that is correct. You submitted last time, so I don't want people to submit 2 in a row. Although, who are you? Yeah, there you are, Exterinity. Thanks, Jose. And hey, Andrew. All right. So, well, I guess people want to hop right into it, but before we start, I want to start with a couple of rundowns, which is the Guild War just ended. We did have our very first thing, and it freaking sucked. Hi, Cade. It freaking sucked. Hi, Tyler. I did not do well at all. I feel like I got targeted a lot, so I was trying to figure out a strategy, and I didn't do good. And people kept hitting me, so I couldn't really get anything, so I got 34th place. Pretty bad. Pretty bad. Hi, Gintana. So overall, I would say I don't like it. I did not enjoy this entire thing. As you can see, my guild did not do good. Honestly, Immortals is the only guild that tried in the red faction. Destroyers, I guess they picked up at the end, but my god, Clarity didn't even play. None of these 4 really played. I got trolled like crazy. Like, people kept knocking me out of towns left and right. This one guy, this guy, he hit me so many times. Hood. Very annoyed with that guy. But, oh well. I'll figure out a strategy for next time. It's looking like the strategy is to avoid the bosses and just focus on taking towns. And if possible, have one person act as like an enforcer to stop them from trolling you. So overall, I didn't enjoy it. I could not get anything going. I'm glad someone in my faction did #1, but I don't know how they did it because I couldn't get anything going. Constantino's Team Arena gives junk rewards, so you're better off missing it. Minato, he's worth pulling for everyone. He may not be worth building because you can't use him yet, but he's always worth pulling. So, if you are in a position where you really, really can't afford the keys, you can skip him, but I'm always going to say new heroes are worth pulling. I will always say that. Wow, this guild only has 1 player. And he's actually active. Holy cow. That's impressive. That's impressive. He just started, though. Alright. So, and then one last thing is I have to figure out how to set up a second camera. But I did get this in the mail. What this is a booster box, a Japanese booster box for the Vivid Voltage Pokemon card expansion. So this is 30 packs. But it is Japanese because it's really hard to find English cards anymore. It's really hard. And so I just gave up and got Japanese ones because, quite honestly, I enjoy these more than English ones anyway. So that's my thing. Minato, you did not submit last time, so you are able to submit this time, yes. Second camera is because people that open cards on stream, they have one camera on their hands and one on their face. And so I want to set that up, but I don't entirely know how to do it yet. So when I figure it out, my girlfriend and I will be streaming our opening of this, and we'll see how it goes. But again, I have to figure it out. People have been suggesting apps to that you can use your phone as a second camera if I just put it on a tripod. So I will probably look into how to do that. All right. So let me see here. Moonlight to 170. Anything good in here? Some keys. Gotta love keys. Oh my god, that's a lot of keys. My gems. That was very disrespectful to my gems. Very disrespectful to my gems. But 30 keys get. So I pulled for Hodor, and honestly, I have enough keys that I will be ready with 3 rounds for the next hero when they come out, so I'm not worried about it. Mirrorless camera. Well, I think unless I get like an actual webcam, it's gonna have to be a phone. I don't know that I have like a camera that can do it. What the heck is by my foot? Oh, it's this cable. Alright, so let's get started. No, that's not what I wanted. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Alright, so where is my... Here's this. And then we'll set up this. Alright, let me set up auto-clicking in the background. So this is going to be Melanie. And, okay. Huh. Laurel tank, okay. So the thing is, with teams like this, you kind of wonder if the reason that they have what their setups is because they tested other ones or because they don't know better. And I don't know the answer to that, so I can't say it's better if you do it a different way, because this obviously seems to work for her. But, oh, actually, Azathoth's only 274. Caleb, that's correct. Just a picture of... Include questions with your screenshots if possible. Otherwise, I'm stuck waiting on you when I come to you, and that slows everything down. So Azathoth, even at 274, is going to live longer than anyone else on this team. So I'd suggest Azathoth in the front. Unless you want to keep Lorelei as tank, swap Watchman to second and make sure that you have 3 bubbles in the back, because that's an option too. If you're getting hurt by Azathoths, that is one way you can do it. Otherwise, you can try Azathoth tank. This is a very interesting team. So one problem that we have with looking at teams like this is, unless we know how they're built, actually the effectiveness drops quite a bit. Like if it's not built as a full damage Kurt or something, or if Watchman has energy or not. Lorelei tanks because she gains energy when she hits 50%. So she fires, and then they hit her, and then she fires immediately at the beginning of the next round. And she does quite a bit of damage, so it actually works out pretty well. Plus, I think having her fire twice stacks the speed reduction, actually. That I don't remember, but I think you can... It stacks some of the effects of it. Maybe like the silence resistance or something else. Kurt's skin is the strongest skin in the game by pure stats. But Lorelei's is the best by actual utility. But if you don't use Lorelei, then you don't need her skin. Alright, so this team, we're just going to give it a 9.5 because it's good. Yes, well, attack or speed, either way. Depends, like, all of those options work, so it's You kind of have to play with that. I have not personally tried tank Laurel. I just know that it's possible. I know that forcing her to fire frequently does a lot. She also gets damage reduction, I believe, when she hits 50%. And then you stack that with she's probably going to get Watchman's emergency shield. And so there's a lot of things going on in here. So if she has all of these heroes and this is what she settled on, it works pretty good. Hey, Drogenis and Birdie. Alright, moving on. Alright, this is Speedy. Why are you not tanking with Verthandi? Why would Verthandi not be tanking here? Her reflect damage is going to be a major factor in having her at all as an early T4. Okay, so... okay, so immediately change Verthandi to tank. You can put Phoenix second if you want. I kind of feel like Yig would do better than Themis here. Because Themis's damage is useless anyway at 9 stars. Yig, at least if he gets a chance to fire at the end of turn 1, may taunt the backline and completely throw off their firing order for turn 2. So I feel like Yig would be more helpful here. But for the most part, I mean, there's not much else you can do with this. Just put Verthandi in front. Like I said, her reflect damage is most of her utility early on. Next, let me see, who's good next? Valkyrie, Phoenix, even Themis, Gold, Hodor, Bale. Any of those would be great next. So we're going to give this an 8.5. It's very solid. Alright. Birdie, I need to stop underestimating you in honor finals. Like, I don't feel like your third team is that good, but it really seems to work well for you. Like, it's just a Skull Themis team. That just doesn't... I don't understand how it wins so much. So I think I'm going to start betting on you more often. Who is this? This is Patrick. Patrick. Like, I would expect a single Themis team to just get rocked by most decently built teams. I just don't understand. I think the main reason you won is that Magic's third is trash. Magic and Eon, both their thirds are trash. I feel like my third is better than their thirds, but they have two really good teams. Alright. So he's 3 copies away from a Kurt. Wow, Birdie, if you didn't bet on yourself, where's the confidence? Where's the confidence? I'm sick and tired of betting on Eon, though. I'm never betting on him again. He lost round 1. He freaking lost round 1. I don't understand it. He hasn't made it to the finals like 4 times in a row now. Alright, let's see here. I know Magic is strong, but I don't know. You beat him. This is an okay team, I guess. The Bale is... I guess the Bale is brand new. But then again, it is VIP 0. Level 167, so it's pretty strong for being VIP 0. But unfortunately, Bale is not... I know, right, Andrew? It's so annoying. every time I bet on him, he loses. When I bet against him, he wins. He always costs me. Always. Alright, so all he's got is Verthandi and Watchmen. Thanks, Gum. I did win my bracket. I feel like there was a lot of upsets this time in Honor. Came out of nowhere. Magic lost, Eon lost, and someone else lost. Milcrease lost, but he's very unreliable. And then 2 other people lost too. It was... I only got like 4 right. Kind of annoyed. Alright, what do you guys think of putting Verthandi in place of Aegina on this team? I feel like Verthandi helps more. Like, I'm not convinced in Aegina on a team like this. She has not enough support. And I feel like Verthandi will give you the buff to Bale to help him do his big damage. Androgenis, they didn't post that quick, actually. I was slow in starting. I kind of feel like Verthandi might be better support than Aegina. But then again, Verthandi's underleveled too. Maybe not. Oh, that's tough. That is tough. Alright, so anyway, my alt basically was running a team like this, except with Valkyrie in place of Aegina. And I will tell you, I lost against almost every single Kurt team in the server. So this just does not stack up. I got destroyed by almost every single Kurt team, barring random dumb luck in my favor. And so as good as Bale is, Kurt just completely wrecks him. So I'm going to give this an... hi, Stanley. I have to give it an 8.5 because I feel like even a generic Kurt team tears it apart. Like, they could have Kurt Skulled and the rest of it be medium. Like, maybe a Phoenix and then 3 fillers, and you might still lose. Just because Kurt's dumb like that. So I'm going to give it an 8.5 because from experience, Bale doesn't carry against Kurt. So, I mean, your answer is you got to make Kurt. The only way to feasibly fight against him is with your own or with a Hodor. Hodor actually counters Kurt very well. What happened? Nothing happened. Guild Wars ended. I'm happy with that. That mode sucks. So either Hodor or Kurt is the only answer you've got to fix this. Although, you haven't even started building Kurt, so you got a long ways to go, it looks like. Okay. Next is Axel Games. Like, I would give you higher because it's a decent team, but I know Bale's limitations. And it's kind of sad. Moomin, it's too time intensive. I only log in the game maybe 3-4 times a day. And so I just don't care enough to keep up with the timers on the towers. And then also, as the streamer, people were bullying me, so I didn't have a fun time of it. But it may be more fun if you have a better guild that cooperates. I didn't have that. Narciso Ripper is better at 10-star and a better early T4, but Detlaf lasts longer. Detlaf is better deeper into the game than Ripper is. Alright. Oh man, this one kind of hurts. This one kind of hurts. Basically, my guild did nothing. My guild didn't cooperate at all. So the other guilds in my faction were doing great stuff, but there was no really any coordination at all. It was just sad. So I was on my own and I was getting bullied, and then it was just like, okay, whatever. Stanley, again, that's only early on. If we're talking like late end where people have 5 T4s, Detlef's better. Actually, I'm not 100% sure, but I really don't think Ripper performs super well later than that. So Ripper will be better as maybe the first to third, maybe second T4. And then past that, I think Detlef is better. I don't think Ripper fits in an endgame PvP team. And Detlef's better for bosses. Way better for Void Boss. Probably better for Guild Boss. Actually, I'm not sure about that one. Ripper hits more people than Detlef, but I think Detlef does more damage on Guild Boss. You're trying to join DC? What's DC? Discord? The link works. Hi, Roman and Albon. Okay, so yeah, Detlef is not better than Detlef. Well, maybe he is if the second one woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Alright, so this guy built Vivienne as his first 10-star. Since this is the hero that now is going to decide who you're fighting against, this unfortunately is going to make you lose everything. Now, he's in the top guild, which means honestly nothing, but Vivienne as your highest star is a terrible, terrible idea. She does no damage. And 10 stars stomp all over 8 stars and most 9 stars as well. Like if they have a Valkyrie 10 star, she's just gonna like one-shot everybody. And you'll probably lose on timeout. You might win on defense, but you're never gonna win on offense. So this is a terrible idea. So this team, I think I'm going to give it like a 3. Now, it's possible that the Ripper may do some work at this point, but Ripper is very squishy, and I don't think he's got the crazy dodge and stuff at 9 stars. And Vivienne can only keep people alive so long. Or also, Detlef sucks at this level. So I'm going to give this a 3. This was a very poor choice of first 10 stars. Very poor choice. Luckily, it's fixable. She's only 10 star. As long as your next 10 star is someone better. Oh wait, Narciso, is this you? Then make Ripper. Make Ripper. If you're going to ask questions in the chat, please preface it by saying this is me, because I have so many other people asking random questions that I don't know if it's you or if you're just asking because you're curious for yourself. So please insert that into your questions. Yeah, make Ripper. So this will get a 3. Having Ripper at 10 probably would raise this up to a 5 or a 6. But because he's only 9 star, that's where this team lands as it is. I wonder about Guild Boss. If it's a Guild Boss with 2 in the back, Ripper might do a decent job. Like, I don't think his dodge helps that much because I think they have hidden hit rate. But he might do okay only because he's hitting 2 targets. But at the same time, if you're talking top and guild bosses, in like the 1600s, where everybody you have is going to die in 3 rounds or like 5 rounds. Ripper doesn't have enough time to do the damage that Detlef can do in one skill. So I'm thinking Detlef may be better for Guild Boss, but don't quote me on that. The stun is nice though. Friends boss, unless you're doing something crazy with energy, Ripper is definitely better. Only because it always goes all 15 rounds, and that poison is a lot. So if you can pair him with someone that does extra damage to poison, it's like Ripper will go off. Alright, let's see here. So this is Minato. Alright, Narciso. Ripper, I believe, they're both available in the Soul Shop. So you can get them there if you need. But also remember that Detlef is very bad up until T4. So don't build him very slowly alongside someone else. Build him if you're going to focus 100% on him all the way up. And the same thing with Ripper. Don't just build multiple heroes up to 10, T1, T2. What's up, Teddy Cat? You're a teddy cat. Oh. Alright, what to do with the Veg? Veg can stay in the back line. You can give him energy. You honestly benefit from energy on 3 of these heroes. On Vivienne, Freya, and Veg. If you don't have 3, you don't have to put them on. You don't have to put it on Vivienne. But you definitely would like it on... Hey, you're destroying my chair again. You definitely would like it on Freya and Veg. Stanley, someone has that. Who is it? No, he has Ripper Verthandi? Or does he have Vivienne? What does he have? I feel like he has Ripper... I think he has Ripper, Verthandi, and Vivienne as his first 3. And he's doing crazy stuff with them. But that's only for early trolling. For early trolling, it's amazing. But as he starts facing stronger teams, it'll fall off. Energy on Viv and Veg, Ragnarok. Wow, you have a Ragnarok with this team? Dang. Dang. Okay, well, your other option is to put Ragnarok on Verthandi, and you can decide who's going to be your damage dealer. You can actually choose to build Vegvasir for damage instead of having him be speed, and he'll do great on this team. So that is your option. However you have him built, you probably just keep it with that. Next, Bale, Rag on him. Yes. If you can do that next, that's amazing. And then if you can do Scold after that, that would be perfect. Then your first replacement would really only be Verthandi. And you could do Laurel at that point, and that would be pretty solid. Alright, so this team... We'll give it, It's between 8.5 and 9. This is a really good team, Ninja-san. It's really solid. He wins on defense because of Vivienne, and he's got enough damage to hold people off on offense as well, to not fall to... Like, Freya can ramp up enough to get most kills for him. I'll give it an 8.5. Alright. So, Melmetal. This one is a little bit tricky. 8.5 is my new... like, good score. Like, I used to give that to Unity, and that's about where this is. Alright, so Melmetal, The way that next event works is you get an idle currency, which is the maps. Now, normally, if you close the game and open it up and 8 hours later you log in and you have 8 hours worth of maps in there, right? However, if you close the game 8 hours before reset, log in right at the reset time, and have it say 8 hours, it'll give you 8 hours of maps as if that idling time was during the event, and it will give you extra currency. So basically, it's fitting 176 hours into 168. You're getting like a free 8 hours worth. It's kind of a bug, but it's one the devs have not cared enough to fix. And for events like this, for collection events, it's always helpful to have a little bit of extra. This time, it may not make a major difference, but it's nicer to do it than not to do it because of the randomness involved in the currency itself. Okay. That's a lot of pictures. I don't think I need all these pictures. You like the number 8, huh? Bale next would be a great job for Minato. Oh my god. Having the option to build Bale early within your first 6 is crazy lucky. It's crazy lucky. Alright, so he's got 7 and he knocked out a Gina. Okay. Well, when you see Freya doing like 20 million damage in Den, it's like, what the hell just happened? Freya is more like a toss of the coin in PvP, but in PvE, she is ridiculous. She's just stupid ridiculous. So this... is it a 9? I feel like this still suffers to Kurtz. It does okay because he does have Valk and Laurel, which protects him a little bit, but I still feel like he's going to struggle to win against any Kurt team. The one thing I suggest is that you swap Valkyrie to second and put Bale in the back as a preemptive Azathoth counter. So this is basically the same thing as Patrick, which is an 8.5. 28? Oh, that's not so bad. So I'm going to give this an 8.5. Same reason as Patrick, which is it's a good team, the direction is good, but Kurt wrecks it. And that's just, there's very little you can do. And the other problem is that if this team doesn't have a Ragnarok, Azathoth, or not Azathoth, Vivienne can wreck it too. Vivienne can make you lose by timing out. Which is kind of a scary concept, but Vivienne does Vivienne things, right? So I don't know if he has a Ragnarok. Azathoth is the counter to Valk? Not even at all. Valkyrie doesn't only heal the front line. Azathoth is more of a counter to Vivienne, if anything, and even then not like amazingly so. He is a nail in the foot of Vivienne. He can annoy her, but he's not a direct counter. One of the bigger counters to her is Ragnarok. Ragnarok and a good burst hero. The other option is actually energy denial, Mulan, because if she attacks with her regular attack and can't get energy, she can't heal. So that is one option as well. All right. Gyrus, I don't understand that question. Tam, I'm usually up for 2 to 2.5 hours. I usually get to like 40 something teams per stream. And according to Drogenis, we got 28, so I can still accept some more. Okay, Charlito. Can I fit this? Nope, this does not fit. Aha! Alright, alright. I wonder who uses the revive on this team. I feel like Phoenix dies first and wastes both revives at the same time. Det first or second or third? Not first. Probably not second. Third is where it gets iffy. Depends on your other two. Third maybe where you may want to start transitioning, but then like if you are nowhere close to Kurt's Scold and you got to make something gimmicky, you may want to make Ripper instead. But I feel like Ripper is going to make more regret. So I feel like when it's your third, I may want to start pushing for Detlef. Veg or Phoenix? In this case, you would want Phoenix first and then Veg probably next to replace Verthandi. Stupid Nox player. They have this whole thing going on with points in Nox player, but I can't earn them. For some reason, they don't exist on my client, and it doesn't make any sense. Does not make sense. My Hodor is T1. I do have the copies to make him T3, but there was no need to rush him to T3 when I wasn't planning to buy the copies to make him T4. Alright, one sec. Let me hit my silver key timers. Converted Skuld to Luna. I mean, the team is fine. It's a good team. It's just you decide your progress from here. You would ideally not like to make your next T4 have to replace someone yet. So finish Phoenix, and then when you finished Phoenix, make Vedrasir and replace Verthandi with Vedrasir, and you'll be fine. Hey, Pons. Pons, you're actually next. Good timing. Alright, so this team, I'll give this an 8.5. I think it's solid. 1 energy, I would put it on Freya. If you can get a second one, put the second one on Skuld. And after that, a third one would go on Phoenix, and after that, a fourth one would go on Vejvasir. So you have time. Gum, I don't want to take complicated team questions in chat during these streams, just because it takes away from the actual teams that I'm supposed to be critiquing. If it's like simple questions, I'll do it, but I'm not going to do lineup questions. Just during team critique streams, I don't want to do that. Alright, let's see here. Alright, this is Pons. Now, if your name matches your name and you ask, then I know it's you. Stanley, Verthandi is more of a buffer in endgame. She works, but she's not ideal. It's just kind of a filler spot. Like, if you've already got good damage in Kurt's Skuld, tank in Vejvasir or something, and you just want like a little bit of extra damage to buff everybody up, Verthandi does it great. For PvP, she's whatever, but like as a fill-in for a good team buff, she's up there. She's very solid. Fire, Hodor fits in all teams. period. But he is a defense. He is. It's easier to use him on defense. He's amazing defensively. That's the thing that people have been testing on, and we aren't really sure how to maximize him offensively yet. But I will tell you he's very, very strong defensively. That's a guarantee. All right, so. All right, so I see a T1 Phoenix with a T3 Skull. That's instantly -1 point. Why would you do that, sir? Why would you do that? See, this is the point where if you knew you couldn't finish Scold, you would have just focused on Phoenix, or vice versa. And if you knew you couldn't finish either of them, you just wouldn't start. You might start on someone else. Kitty, when you already have more than enough star shards, which is anywhere from like 2 to, I don't know, 7 or something, depending on your honor setup, you may consider buying the 88% warrior just to be good in Void Cage, or any of the other 88% just for that reason. The mage and the wanderer one are good for Void Boss, Guild Boss, and the rest of them are like whatever. You can consider that. It's not that you don't need it unless you're really, really trying to be competitive on boss damage. But they are options for you to buy. Verthandi primary tank against burst teams is like whatever. She's good against early teams when it takes a lot of turns to win. But when the whole game ends by like round 4, she's not really there for damage. So you need 2 Phoenixes and you need 1 Skuld. And you should not have started working on both of them at the same time then. Because you weren't ready to finish either one. Albon, if you're in the queue, I will get to it. I'm hoping to get to everybody that's submitted today so far. Alright, so. This is basically the same team as Minato, just with worse decisions. So we're going to give it an 8.5 -1 point, 7.5. Submissions have not closed just yet, but probably in about 5 to 10 minutes I will. Hi, Mr. Average. And hi, Kozor. Is that Schwan? It's Schwan, right? 35? Okay. 5 to 10 minutes will close. Okay. So, ideally you finish Skuld first, because if you focus anything into Phoenix at all, it's like ridiculously inefficient. You really should be focusing on a T4 at a time. But once you get to these 6, the first one to go from there would be Detlaf, and then probably Verthandi. And let me see. You wouldn't mind having Valkyrie, Laurel, Kurt, Bale. Any of those 4 would be lovely for your next one. Vivienne is also an option if you choose to make her. Alright. You notice how we're 8 in and there's only one 9.5 so far? I appreciate that. I definitely appreciate that. Alright, next is Krusty. Hey, Yassine. Wait, where's the team? Alright, so I have to build the team, which means you lose a point. Which would be, let me see here. I would say Phoenix, Valkyrie, Kurt, Laurel, no. Phoenix, Laurel, Kurt, Valkyrie, Skuld, Azathoth. Potentially you can replace Laurel for Freya, but that's up to you. The 9.5 team was Lore, Skuld, Kurt, Watchman, Azathoth. Who was the 6th? I don't remember who the 6th was. I remember 5 of it. Lore, Skuld, Kurt, Azathoth, maybe Valkyrie, and then Watchman. Might not have been Valkyrie. I think it was someone else, but I don't remember who the last one was. Yassine max speed. Speed's way more important. Speed really turns the tide in a battle. It had Sculled Kurt. That's it. And it had 4 very solid heroes around that. Watchman's better than you think. With lore tank, Watchman is probably way more effective. It was Valkyrie. Like, making... So this is a 9.5 minus 1. Yes. Yes, it is. This is a 9.5 minus 1. So, sir, you get an 8.5. So, the reason that I put lore in front is if Azathoth is going to have a choice between banishing lore or Valk, I'd rather she banish Valk. Lorelei at least will fire first and then knock their speed down and allow you to get all your firing in. It hurts to lose Valkyrie, but it would hurt more to lose Lorelei if you're on even terms and speed, where very specifically, oh shoot, this is actually zoomed out, huh? Why is this zoomed out? Okay. Yeah. If both your Kurts are even speed, then having the Lorelei will force your Kurt to fire first on offense and on defense, and that can really make the difference. You always want your Kurt to fire before their Kurt. That way you put all the RNG onto them, because your Kurt now has a chance to silence their Kurt and completely disable him, and that's kind of the goal that you're looking for. So, Phoenix, Lore, Kurt, Sculled Valk, Azathoth. That's what I would do. So you get an 8.5. It would have been a 9.5, but you lose 1 point for making me make that lineup for you. Okay. Alright, hold on. This is... Okay, there we go. Melanie deserves an 8.5. That team probably wins way more than you think it does. Last boss, 37. I can go up to 40. I'll stop at 40. Alright. So this is Elite. You want to make Wolf Rider after Vivienne. The problem with that is Sculled counters your entire team. If they have one Sculled, all of your crowd control is nullified. Especially if their Sculled doesn't have energy. So they put Sculled in there. You try to use Petrify, silence their entire team, but you can't stop Sculled because she's got a bubble. She clears all of it, and then all of your everything just goes away. And also, you are very vulnerable to it yourself. Watchman and Lore to be 8.5. I do not. I don't share that opinion. Because I've seen what damage Lorelei can do. Lorelei can put up a good 3 million in PvP. And when... especially paired with Watchman's emergency shield, easy. I can see her putting up 5 million in PvP. Alright, where was I? Where did my thing go? I've got too many windows open. Hold on. Get to this. Okay, there we go. Is there a particular reason you keep everything in the front? Wouldn't this get hurt by, like, Ripper? Once Ripper takes out your entire backline, now he hits everybody here? I would probably consider putting Freya in the back. I'll give it an 8.5. It's solid. It's a solid start. Very solid start. It's a very, very solid start. But he says he wants to make Ripper Wolf Rider next. I don't think Ripper's a good choice anymore. Like, I don't think Ripper is good anymore at this point. Like, at third T4, I would argue Ripper, it's a toss-up between him and Detlef. At fourth, I think it's very much leaning towards Detlef. And then Wolf Rider. Wolf Rider is good, but I don't feel like you have the damage to take advantage of Wolf Rider. So basically, if you made Wolf Rider, your goal is Wolf Rider fires, then Wolf Rider stuns the front line, Ripper probably then fires and hits the back line, and now Detlef comes in and tries to hit someone that's stunned, but you have no idea if that person is stunned or not. So if they don't stun the person that Detlef fires at, Wolf Rider's point was very he didn't help you at that point. All he was a little bit of stun. So that's why Wolf Rider does so much better paired with people like Bale or even Freya, actually, in this case. But Freya will be faster than Wolf Rider. And so I don't think pairing Wolf Rider with Ripper or Detlef helps you a lot at all. I don't think they're good teammates for him. The best cleric, Skuld, period. Vang, you can use all purple artifacts. You don't care about any of them. If you're trying to use orange ones to level up, which ones would I level up out of orange? Probably any of the 44% ones you can use. Wolf Rider has no direct synergy with Ripper. Because Wolf Rider hits the front, Ripper hits the back. Your goal is to have Wolf Rider, Ripper, and then come in with somebody who hits everybody. So that would do great with Kurt, Bale, Themis, after them both firing. But that's... Hodor is good, yes. Alright, so we're going to give this... Yeah, we already gave it an 8.5. So yeah, I don't think Wolf Rider Ripper is your best option here, Elite. You don't have the heroes to really take advantage of that. Hey, last boss. Alright, so this will be CT. What? Is it opening? It's not opening. There we go. $40? Okay, we are going to close off submissions. We are going to close off submissions now. Hey, Rahul. Back to where the heck was I? Where is it? Here, okay. Hi, Rudy. Okay, Caleb, this is you. You just made Valkyrie to T4. Yig is next. Hoping to tank with Yig. While that's not a bad idea, I suggest you temper your expectations because Yig is going to be extremely random. Sometimes he will carry you to victory. Sometimes he will be a complete waste of a spot. I very much hesitate recommending anybody to build Yig unless they are in an experimental phase and they're just testing out new heroes. So I don't think that Yig is a great option for you. 2-star level 50, maybe he just really likes this guy. Wasn't there somebody that had a whole bunch of level 40 loyal chickens? I feel like there was a couple of people like that. Oh my god, I watched all my ads and I did all my auto-click on both accounts. I mean, Bale or Azathoth would be nice. Gyrus, if you're everybody that's posted in there will be critiqued today. I have cut it off. If you did not make it in this round, you are not getting critiqued this time. But everybody that has already made a post is in there. Phoenix, Bone Grip, Crit, Detlaf, Giant Lizard, Attack Kurt, Gaia Bulga, Attack Freya, Random, Attack Lorelei, Random, Attack Scold, Random. Alright, well, you really need... you really need energy. In this team, you may consider making energy on Phoenix, Valkyrie, and Scold. And making Valkyrie into a speed Valkyrie. Although speed, I guess, is not amazing, but Tears of the Goddess will help her. Hey, Ivan. So, Yig is not gonna do anything amazing for you. He's just very random. And so I don't like fighting him, but I have to admit that oftentimes he does nothing. And even if he manages to taunt people, he may not always taunt the important people, and if he lets a couple too many skills through, then it's basically like he wasn't there at all. So that's kind of the weird thing with him. Okay. Well, if I don't need the game open, because I finished all my ads and stuff, then... Okay. So this lineup is fine. Yig is a whatever choice. I might actually consider using Freya over Detlaf on this team. Because I don't know that Detlaf is useful at this point. So in that case, you would want energy on Freya and Scold for sure. And then Phoenix and Valkyrie if possible, but not required. It's not that Phoenix is a better tank. It's that Phoenix actually helps the rest of the team. Yig doesn't. Yig does not provide any buffs to the rest of your team. Yig only works to try and disable their team. Doesn't Loyal Chicken... What does he hit? Doesn't he hit like the one person with the highest attack? And then have a chance to stun them? Alright. I don't actually know Loyal Chicken's ability. He hits the highest attack, steals skill damage and energy from them. Yeah, okay. 6 Loyal Chickens sounds like a winning strategy for losing. Alright, so this is going to be a 9.5. Actually, we'll give it a 9. I think with the Detlaf / Freya option is not optimal. So we'll give this one a 9. But it's really good, and hopefully you get a better hero to replace those two. Bale would be a great one. If you could get Bale next, that would be huge for you. Replace Detlaf with Bale. Good stuff. Alright, next is FRZ. Suggest team. What? Okay. Wow, Lindbergh. Wow. Wow, what a team. Ivan, that would depend on what your team is. Hi, Arnoldo. Wow. Where would I put energy on this team? I'm thinking Phoenix Scold Aegina. That way you can have Lindbergh with a Holy Light Justice. But I feel like then he's too slow to stun anyone important. I'm actually not sure about that. Because I'm not sure what Lindbergh's final speed is. Let me see here. Alright, Lindbergh's final speed is... Okay, like... 1465. Who would he be? Or 1464. Who is that faster than? Slower than Freya. Slower than Phoenix. Slower than Skuld. Faster than Kurt Bale. But you won't hit Kurt. You will probably miss Bale because of his bubble. Speed chart? There's no speed chart. I'm going off of memory. He'll be faster than probably Detlefs. I don't think that Lindbergh helps here. I think if you have to build him for speed... I'm not sure this is a team that helps for him. Aviral, Team Critique is always held around this time, but you're too late for this stream. You have to get in within like the first half an hour to 45 minutes. I'm really not sure about that. So if he can't stun anyone before they fire, what's the point? Good night, William. Thanks for stopping in. Then is it better to have energy on him? He's slower than Laurel. He's slower than Valkyrie. No, he's faster than Valkyrie. But if they have a speed Valkyrie, then you lose. Because you can't build Lindbergh for speed, otherwise he'll just miss. I really don't know the answer to this one. Like, I don't know the best way to use Lindbergh in a non-special situation. So I feel like he's not useful for you. I'd probably say this T3 Kurt is better than your T4 Lindbergh. Alright, so let's say he gets 50 speed. Just remember... Hey, Jova, the thing is, think about it. Who do you want to stun with Lindbergh before they can fire? People are stacking bubbles in the back because of Azathoth. And he doesn't have Azathoth. So if he's hitting someone that has 3 bubbles in the back, Lindbergh is wasted. Lindbergh does nothing. So even Lindbergh with energy will do nothing. His pure damage is actually kind of iffy. If you're not pairing him with like Wolf Rider or something, his damage is not that good. So if he can't do good stun, or can't stun anyone important, and can't do big damage, what does he do? What does he do? So, unfortunately, Crow FRZ is not here to tell us. So my suggestion will be replace him with Kurt. Now, I've seen Lindbergh go off. I just feel that it's very iffy against a good burst team. Zero, you are too late this time. So, if he had Kurt, this team would go up to a 9. But this team, in its current state... I don't really like it. I feel like it's got 3 squishy heroes here that are all crowd control magnets. You've got Bubbles and you've got Skuld, which is nice, but I don't feel like you've got reliable damage. So I'm going to give this an... I'm going to give it an 8. I don't like this team. And if you had Kurt in there in place of Lindbergh, I think it would go up to a 9. I will tell you that a T3 Kurt actually still does good work. he still does big damage even at only T3. So don't be afraid to use him. Det and Lin work well with reset. They don't target the same people. Detlef targets whoever has the highest attack. Lindbergh targets the backline. There is no guarantee that that will be the same person at all. And even if the person with highest attack is on the backline, which is unlikely if they have Kurt, Lindbergh would only have a 66% chance of actually hitting the same person as Detlef. So there's no synergy in this team. Alright, moving forward. Alright, this is wounds. Alright, so Verthandi 88% mage, interesting choice. Yig bone grip. Are you tanking Yig? Why would you put Verthandi with an 88 mage? Okay, so wounds, you're assuming that Lindbergh isn't dead by then. Lindbergh is extremely squishy. He has really high HP, but he dies so fast. So if he's got to wait for Detlef to get a kill before he does anything, he's faster than Detlef. So he will fire, then Detlef will get a kill, then probably Lindbergh is dead. And it's too late by then for him to snowball. Verthandi tank. If they have Det, isn't Freya going to be the first one? Isn't Freya going to be the first one to get targeted? If Freya petrifies anyone, she is the highest attack by far. Alright, so Fodder, Freya Star Shards. Lore, Gaia Bulga, Chesia Ragnarok. Okay. So you lose... No, actually, okay. Yig is exempt from this. So you don't lose a point for the T3 Yig. 0. Lindbergh does look cool. Hey, Omar. Okay. If Freya misses Det, you lose. Sounds about right. Although, your other option is... you try to put speed on Chesia and have her silence Det. That's one option. If their Detlef is max level, you might not have a chance. Is Chesia a good early game? Not really. She's very hard to use. So unless you've got like a good strategy around her, like with energy denial, you're looking at a very squishy hero. Okay, so Freya Star Shards, Lore Gaia Bulga. You're not using Chesia for energy denial, you're just using her to land silence. The problem is that she's very slow. So if you want to use her for silence, that's not a terrible idea. Let me see. What is her percentage? Oh, dang it. I'm on the wrong account. Let me switch over to my main so I can see T4 Chesia. I think she only has like 25% chance to silence. So it's not actually reliable. Let's see here. Yeah, 25% chance to silence. So it's not a great option. Huh. Wait a minute. So Laurel isn't dropping their Detlef skill damage? I mean, Laurel should weaken their Detlef, and he shouldn't necessarily be able to get that kill. Interesting. Interesting. Let's see, does this lower their resist? No. Just raises your resist. Star Shards next. A Star Shard for Chesia would be a pretty good idea. They still get one shot with a crit. Okay. I can see how you are playing a very delicate game. But if you are able to stand a chance against Detlef, then I'd say you're doing pretty good, because Detlef is unstoppably strong at this point. And there's just very little you can do about it until you get Valkyrie or Scold. Valkyrie or Scold is your only chance to stop him. Okay, so using Chesia without energy is a very interesting choice. Very interesting choice. I feel like you'd get wrecked by anybody that has Kurt, but you probably don't see too many. Veg to stop Detlef? I mean, Scold is the easy answer. Scold or Themis is the easy answer. Overwrought, Hodor's defensive seed makes him a very strong counter to Kurt, and plus his skill bypasses all damage reduction, which also counters Kurt. I think everybody should pull for him, but people that are struggling early game should not necessarily build him. Scold isn't close, and you have 7 copies of Veg. I don't think Veg is going to do anything against Detlef. You're just banking on the 40% freeze as a counter, and that's not a good one. The chance of Freya missing is very high, and now you add on a high chance of Veg missing, and so now what? And remember, with every T4 you add, your opponents are adding one too. And if you're adding one that's like a counter pick, and they're adding one that's generically strong, you lose. Well, you're not getting 1 copy of Hodor, you're getting 2. I always advise to pull for him because it's the best time to get him, but building him is up to you. I mean, I would stop at least 6-star gets you it gets you 1 free 5-star. Always pull for him. Should you fodder Shoot Mel for Valkyrie? My heart says no, my brain says yes. Shoot Mel just isn't viable at the highest level at this time. Alright, so we will give this, I guess, an 8. Knowing that Detlef tears it apart so handily, is kind of sad. Although, actually, you didn't give me your team, so we're going to take away a point for that. So you get a 7. Wounds, I said that relying on Vegasir's random, like, you're adding a dice roll on top of a dice roll. And it's not a reliable option. It's not really a good option. So it wasn't. Good night, Caleb. Thanks for stopping in. Yeah, wounds, that doesn't count. -1 point for that. In your heart, you can know that you should have had an 8. But in the stream, you are recorded as a 7. Alright, next is going to be Body Snatched. How am I doing here? I'm at 13 in an hour. Oh god, I gotta go faster. Okay. How are we going to make it to 40? I thought I was on a good pace, but it doesn't look like I am. Yeah, I'm not at a good pace then. Okay. Let's try and go faster. Alright, so what the heck is this? What the heck is this? Alright, Valkyrie's not a good tank. And why is Valkyrie T1? Okay, so step 1, Ripper is your next T4. Step 2, tank probably with Phoenix, just because Phoenix gives you a little bit of a revive and buys you a little bit more time. Step 3, then you can focus on Valkyrie. Ripper at this point is probably fine. This team probably does its fair share of winning. But he doesn't have the best help of teammates. Alright, so I'm going to give this team... I guess I would have given it a 7... 7.5, I guess? I'll give it a 7.5. And then I'll take away a point. So I'll give it a 6.5. I don't know why you're leveling up all of these heroes. Like, what's the point of... when you took this Mulan to 141, plus Hodor to 151, plus Aiden to 180, all of those could have been used to level up your Valkyrie. Or this Ripper, actually. So, not the greatest option wasting all your resources leveling up these heroes. I'd probably suggest foddering this Ultima to make Ripper T4 right now if you can do that. Okay. Next is another Crow. So the other one was Crow, but this one is... the other one was username Crow, but this is player name Crow. No, other way around. So he would have had a 7.5 because Ripper's good, but minus 1 point. Just let go? Let what go? Let you go? But we had so much together. Alright, so this would have been the same thing, which is Ripper as your primary damage, so this would be the same 7.5. Potentially 8. Olivia to 10 to fodder, and then Freya. Who do you build after Freya? Well, I hope that Freya is going to be T4. But if you're going to pick someone after that, it probably would be Verthandi. Just because Verthandi is a great tank. And you don't... Ripper can actually tank in the meantime, so that's an option. But for now, this is fine. Okay, so Ripper first, Freya next, and then ideally Verthandi. But if you happen to stumble into more copies of like a really good hero in the meantime, you can work on them. I guess Kurt in the back helps if you have energy on Ripper, because you'll power up Ripper's first skill, but I guess it's 50-50 on that one. Knowing that he's going to die all the very first. So we'll give Crow the 7.5 that Body Snatched would have got if he hadn't had a T1 Valkyrie. Okay. Is this a Pusheen hat? It is a Pusheen hat. It matches my personality perfectly. It says, "So lazy, can't move." That is me. Hi, Vank. Alright. Who doesn't love Pusheen, right? Pusheen's the best. Is a fat, lazy cat. Alright, 4 Star Shards, 1 Tears of the Goddess, 1 Gaia Bolga, Giant Lizard, 2 Bone Grips. And he can T4 Bale, Aegina, Lorelei, Valkyrie. Good God! Good God, you have a team like this and... Oh, no. I see a T1 Lorelei and a... Wow, this would have been a 9.5 next, but he loses a point. So he gets an 8.5 because he done messed up here. But your next T4 should definitely be... Your definitely should be Bale. Which means you're going to have like a permanent -1 point. Probably -2 points while you build Bale. You don't really need Phoenix or Lorelei anymore, so you done invested resources in them for no real good reason at this point. I don't know. Viv instead of Freya? That's an option. What was the mess up? He's got a T1 Phoenix down... Oops. He's got a T1 Phoenix and a T1 Lorelei. I do not count Arwen because any hero in an Awakening event we don't count. But Phoenix Lorelei, yes. If you have more than one T1, it means you have bad priority. On our team doesn't matter. The T4 is more important than multiple T1s. So it's just not useful for him. Also, he doesn't even have a full second team, so it's not like taking these 6 heroes and making the Phoenix T1 even makes this team good. So, yeah. Last boss suggests Vivienne instead of Freya. That's a great option. And probably better for this team. Freya just is too unreliable to really, really use at the highest level. That's right, Melmetal. Drogenis, that's true. But if his next ones are going to be Bale, followed by like another Kurt or another Skuld or something like that, Phoenix and Lorelei kind of fall off on the wayside. Ninja Sun, Phoenix T2, Lorelei 10. If your next project is Phoenix T4, is perfectly fine. Vank Kurt is still one of the best heroes in the game, so if you got him, try and build him. Should you break them? I don't think you necessarily need to break them, but if by breaking them you can immediately focus on Bale to T4, then it would be amazing. Then it's worth it. Because they're not bad heroes, they're just not high priority heroes. Let's say that. So you would have Tears of the Goddess on Skuld, Veg, Viv, and probably... Oh, no. You only have one. If you only have one, you probably put it on Vivienne or Vegvisir. And then Star Shards would go on Azathoth, Skuld, and then the remainder of them. And then you have one Gaia Bolga on Kurt. You put the Giant Lizard on... Oh god, actually, that's tough. I would not use the Giant Lizard. I would not use the Giant Lizard at all. Drogenis, remember that if you're looking at honor, people will look at this team, skip it, use their Kurt team against his second team, which is Phoenix Verthandi, Vivienne, destroy it in an instant, and then their own Phoenix Verthandi, Vivienne will come and stomp over whatever he's got left. So I don't necessarily think that you need to break them. So it's kind of like a FOMO kind of thing. If you think that using them you can build a T4 right away, it's worth it to save some time, but it is a costly effort. My team isn't as good as you might think it is. It's like a fun team. My team is just like this. It's kind of just for fun. I mess around with it. I'm thinking I might just leave it as this for now. I haven't entirely decided what I want to do with it, but it already beats everyone on my server, so I don't really need to mess with it too much. Alright, so Mikuro gets dropped a point. So then the main reason for him to not break something is just to keep a point. Or the main reason for him to break things is just to keep his point in Team Critique, but I don't know that that's really worth it. That's like $100 fix because Phoenix Stones are so expensive. Alright, next is Bonat game. Alright, how to use Valkyrie as a damage build? If you've got Kurt, you are not building... You are not using Valkyrie as damage. There's no point in that. Valkyrie's damage in PvP will never come close to Kurt Themis. So, at this point, you just give up on Valkyrie. Or you replace Veg, or you replace Verthandi with Azathoth tank, and then use Valkyrie, but you would use Valkyrie as a speed support with energy. Like, if you're going to use Valkyrie on this team, she's got to be speed energy. If you want to keep her as damage, then yes, she goes in a second team. You cannot... Your Kurt Themis team is losing to a Valkyrie. You probably don't have enough defense break then. If you are losing to a Valkyrie, then somehow her 20% skill damage reflection or resist is killing you, and that is bad. Like, Valkyrie alone doesn't make Kurt lose. You're losing to something else. If you have Ragnarok on Kurt and Gaia Bulga on Themis, and you're losing to a... Yeah, it's not Valkyrie making you lose. I'll tell you that. It's not Valkyrie. It's something else. Okay. So Laurel is a better offensive option because of the speed and the... But Valkyrie is a better defensive option. However... Because his Valkyrie is built for damage, I would not use her in this team. If he insists on keeping Valkyrie as a damage build, she cannot fit on this team. But if you are willing to switch her to speed energy, then you can bring her here. Alright, so Bonat gets a 9.5 next. Go away. Wait, Melmetal, did you submit last time? You did not. Okay. All right. All right. See, these are the people that really need help. These are the people that benefit the most from Team Critique. If you like Valkyrie and you want to see her keep getting use, you can switch her to speed on Keeper on that team. Or you can keep her as damage and as an honor hero. Either way is perfectly fine. But once you get Vejvisir and you swap out Verthandi, it's not a major factor. Like, once you've got that team, but with Veg instead of Verthandi, you can swap Lore and Valkyrie almost back and forth, and it's not going to really make a difference. Yulian team submission was cut off half an hour ago, so not this round. You'll have to wait for next time. Alright, so with a team like this, Vidyo, there are a bunch of people with T4 Hodors already, so... We've seen him. He's really good in defense. Offense is kind of iffy, but on defense, he's really, really good. But very hard to optimize. Yulian, remember that you can always just post in the channel and other people will answer. Oh my god, I'm not even halfway through. Okay, let's go. Alright, so Metal, I would kind of suggest that you use Freya instead of Luna. Freya also synergizes with Medusa. Definitely focus as hard as you can on Feathers for the Verthandi copies because she's very solid. Your first 9 stars would ideally be Freya, Verthandi, or Ripper. And ideally those would be your first 10 stars as well. Freya you can get out of Advanced Wheel. Verthandi you can also get out of Advanced Wheel. And Ripper and Freya are also in the Soul Shop, so you can get copies of them as needed. So it's not super hard, just it will take time. But those 3 heroes are very easy to get copies of. Aside from that, this is a really good early team. Let me see, how is his damage? His damage is decent, not bad, not bad. Not bad. Alright, we'll give this a 7. It's not a bad team for this point. And the other thing that you need to do is Vivienne needs to catch up in levels. Her healing is amazing. She'll help you a lot here. So we'll give this a 7. It's not a bad team. Vidya Hodor is more anti-burst. If you're fighting against people that don't have full T4s, he's gonna be like okay for you, but not amazing. Caleb, energy on Vegdrasir is more to reduce their crit rate defense and enable your own burst. So if you've already got amazing damage, then Vegdrasir makes it better. If you don't, then he's just kind of there as a freeze tank, and he's not going to do anything amazing. So if you don't have big damage on your team, then Veg isn't going to enable too much. Androgenus, yes. However your ally fires, if they have a seed, it rides on all of it. Sarab, you are too late to submit this time, which is weird because you were one of the first ones here. So you should have posted your team then. Alright, next is 11. Utkarsh, you go to... You come here, menu, options, server, and then from here you can choose a new server. You will keep all accounts on your current server and make a new account on a new server. Or you can just switch back and forth between existing accounts, no problem. If you don't have a T4 Azathoth, Azathoth doesn't matter, has nothing to do with Hodor. Hodor is just strong defensively, period. Period. But he will do a lot better if you have Oracle, by the way. Alright. Vank, Kurt cannot be a tank. Alright, let's see here. Oh! This is a strong team. We'll give this an 8.5. It's a very good team. I don't know... Oh. Should you convert Dro to Laurel? Yes. But if Dro is only 10 stars and under-leveled, you may want to just save her and make Laurel from scratch and then fodder the Dro later. That's a good option too. Like, at the 10-star level, it's not really worth it to convert. And also, since you didn't go all the way up to 250, you're not losing as many resources anymore. Gigi, if you end up with a T4 Hodor on GT1, I'm going to be very upset. Alright, so this is... Valkyrie has Gaia Bulga. Who do you make after Yig? Not enough copies for Skuld or Kurt. Options are Vivienne, Detlaf, Veg. Okay. Okay, Ragnarok on Bale is yes. Gospel Song on Valkyrie is a yes. Bonat, she was very good anti-cleric. And she was fast. So she could stun Phoenix and Skuld before they fired on turn 1. The reason that that fell off is now that there's a bubble and hit rate is now an issue. So even if she hits Skuld, she no longer stuns. Is it stun or silence? I always forget. Stun. It's stun. She no longer can stun Skuld turn 1. It's impossible for her. So if she cannot be a cleric counter anymore, that's like all of her utility, poof, gone. Should you build Yig at all? I honestly would recommend you not build Yig. Yig does not help you at this point. So you can build Vivienne, Detlaf. Alright, so Bonat, she doesn't stop Skuld. If you have an Oracle on Vivienne, she can't stop Vivienne. And, well, you wouldn't. Vivienne is not, like, so major. Phoenix is... It's going to be hard to stop Phoenix. But stopping Phoenix is not major either. And stopping Hodor does nothing for you. Hodor's goal is to hit 50% and block all your damage. So stopping Hodor won't do anything for you. Alright, Viv, Det, or Veg. I probably would say Detlaf. And do not convert your Virthandi, because Virthandi is super amazing for second honor team. You'll definitely want to keep her and build Skuld from scratch. Additionally, I notice you already have a 6-star Skuld here, so you can't even convert. Caleb, I keep speed rune on Kurt. 1 Kurt, I keep speed. The main reason is to counter other enemies that do not have speed Kurt. So you are faster than their Kurt even if they have Laurel, and it allows you to fire, giving you a chance to stop their Kurt. But you wouldn't do it if you only have a single Kurt. If he is your only big damage dealer, you can't use speed Kurt. If you've got him but you've also got Bale or Themis, then you can go ahead and use speed Kurt. Use him to buff up Bale Themis, have him weaken them a bit, and Bale Themis come in for the kill. That's the idea. Okay, so this team, God, no Skuld hurts. If you build Det, should you use Valken Lore with speed? No. No, you need them for damage. Laurel you can build for speed, and Valkyrie you can keep for damage. Felix, it's been updated like every week. It's updated with Hodor. How much more can I update it? Hodor is S tier in PvP. That's as recent as it gets. Okay, so we're going to give this team actually a 7 because, quite honestly, without Skuld, you suffer. You can't win. You suffer so much against teams with Skuld with a team like this. And even if they have like somewhat lesser heroes, you just can't win reliably. And Bale doesn't stop Kurt. We know this. All right. Faster, faster, faster. Yassine. Felix, if you look in the video description, there is a link to a Google Sheet, and that's where it is. It's linked there. It's linked on my Discord. It's linked on the subreddit. And that Google Sheet is updated all the time. Venk, I don't want to do team lineups on stream. Oh. Wow, Kurt as a second. Vidya Cigar. I bought a lot of skulls with moonstones. I might have also bought a lot from events too. You've been caught. Yassine, you've been caught. -1 point for this. Even though you don't need star shards for this, still -1 point for this. Wow, Kurt as a second T4 is... If you bought Kurt just so that you could get him to T3 and stop there, I feel like I have to take away like 3 points for that. Like, if you don't have enough moonstones to finish, or if you don't have the copies to finish Kurt right now, and I don't know the answer to that, but if you don't, that's... Yeah, you converted the Kurt for what? It's not like this is all of a sudden super strong for you. Kurt's power comes from everybody firing their skill before him. In this team, that's only Detlef. So Kurt gets no buff. His damage is not very good. He's not a 1v1 hero. He's very bad 1v1. In fact, I would say he's kind of trash 1v1. Because he gets no buff. Yeah, so no, that's not good. That's not good at all. The perfect T4 team, no such thing. There is no perfect team at this time. All teams can be beaten. Alright, so this would have been an 8.5 if it was just Detlef. -1 for this. I'm going to take away another point for focusing so heavily onto a Kurt that you can't even finish. Like, you... Even if you had the Kurt, he's not good on this team. We'll give this a 6.5. Maybe a 6. No, we'll give it a 6. Hey, Desmond. I hope you enjoy the phone. I want to get a new phone. Bonat Hodor wrecks it. Hodor destroys that team. Klaus, I'm not going to answer team lineup questions on chat. Void stones to buy diamond key? I would not. I would buy the flags in the void chest because I like the stuff in the void chest better than the diamond key, and because the diamond key is just too unreliable. Bonat game, Hodor's skill bypasses all of Azathoth's speed reduction, or damage reduce. So normally Azathoth has like 80% damage reduce, and Hodor just completely bypasses it. He hits Hodor, or he hits Azathoth like he's not even there. So, like, a Kurt would come in, and if Kurt does 1,000 damage, he'll do 20 to Azathoth. If Hodor does 1,000 damage, he will do 1,000 damage to Azathoth. So Hodor is S tier in PvP because of his defense. You put him as tank, and he's hard to stop. Does he hit hard? He hits hard depending on teammates. He hits hard enough. Anyway, we know that the counter exists. We don't know how good it is. All right, this is a 9. No, we'll give this a 9. Who is this? Cardinal. We'll give it a 9 because of Freya. You have all copies for Bale, Valk, Veg. Either Bale or Vegosir is great for this team. Just replace the Freya. Alright, next is Ninja Sun. Wait, what? Ninja Sun is not asking for a team. Ninja Sun is saying, how do you counter this? Mulan Chesia counters this. But if you want to counter it with your own burst, Azathoth helps. Hodor would stop it. Veg would hurt it. So there is all your options. Veg, Valk, Lorelei, Mulan Chesia, Hodor, Azathoth. A lot of those options all can counter it. But when you hit that point, it's going to be 50-50. Like, you may not always win. Gigi... I think Hodor purely is going to be better. But Azathoth does better on offense than Hodor does, I think. Like, Azathoth will have more uses in PvE, and Hodor has almost none. Alex, Luna is just bad. At the highest level, she doesn't do enough damage. Crowd control completely negates her damage reduction on skill, and all of that. Luna's just not that good later. Alright, so Ninja Sun did not submit a team, so we'll delete that. Alright, next is Mascot. Drogenis, did you count Ninja Sun? Because that's one less that I gotta do. Oops. Alright, let's see what Mascot's questions are. Okay. What should the next 2 to 3 T4s be? 700 Moonstones, Scold and Yig 10-star. Do not make Olivia T4. I don't suggest that. 700 Moonstones, and luckily he has not bought an artifact yet. Alright, so first you need to buy a Star Shards. Your next T4s would probably be... No, good call, Drogenis. I'm just saying. It's one less that I gotta critique. Vank Monkey King is very mediocre. Gigi, Azathoth is not a make-or-break hero. I don't think he is going to be as critical as a counter Kurt as Hodor is. Alright, so after Lorelei, I guess Vivienne, Verthandi, Phoenix, or Scold, anywhere you can do it. I would not consider buying 4 copies of Scold with Moonstones. You don't really have enough for that. I would say focus on the rest of them later. Bale is next. Okay. Actually, Verthandi would be better next. So do Verthandi next. And then... I guess Vivienne. And then after that to see who you can build next. Scold, I wouldn't focus on Scold to 10-star next week. Scold and Yig, don't make them 10 stars. Not until you're ready to finish them. So, Verthandi, then Vivienne. You could convert Reaper to Dettlaff at that point, but that's kind of up to you. You may consider doing that. Alright, so this team as a rating... 8.5, I guess. Standard. Standard. I mean, I know Azathoth is good, but just because you don't have him shouldn't be a major reason to why you lost. And I'm kind of impressed that people even try in Team Arena, to be honest. Like, doesn't Bold just set random junk teams all the time? I don't even... I just set whatever team. Oh, Klaus, is this you? No, it's not. Klaus, buy the star shards. Okay. Wait a minute. Okay, next is Sanasam. Olivia plus 0.5. Can I do that? I can't. I can't. She's been so useless for me. It's so sad. I'm so sad about my Olivia. And I cannot fodder my Olivia. Like, I can't. So I will keep my Olivia forever, and it's going to cost me tons of progress, but that's okay. I will live. My Olivia T4? What? Are you asking me about my Olivia T4? This one right here? But I don't recommend other people make her T4. This one right here, this is my pride and joy. Why is she on talent 2? I also don't like this skin, so she gets to stay with this because she looks cool. Anyway. Alright, Kurt is not yet T4. Who do you replace with Kurt? Replace Detlaf. Alright, this is a... Whoa. This is... I feel like this team is just average. Okay, so we'll give it an 8.5. It's average. Ninja Sun, I asked them. They refused to give me good art. The devs are actually not good communicators at all. They're not cooperative, and they don't respond quickly. So what can I do? If you want to use Vivienne as well, replace Verthandi. Use Vegvasir as tank, and then you can put in Vivienne. Whoa. Is that... Whoa. Yo, this guy's got the Mars skin. This guy's got the Mars skin. What an interesting skin to buy. And he's got Valkyrie. What the heck? What is up with this? Why is this censored? Why is this censored right here? What even goes there? Isn't VIP always the first one? Why would you Photoshop your achievements? No, he didn't. He didn't. He just dragged it down. Why would he drag it down unless he was trying to hide his... He's not high VIP. He's VIP 0. It says very clearly VIP 0. But I'm trying this, and he had to do this. So he went out of his way to do this. Hi, John. The reason that you know it's not photoshopped is because you can see his... Right here, you can see this phoenix. So he didn't Photoshop it because you can still see through it. But the reason that he did this is probably to hide that he bought Moonstones. Or he didn't buy he bought a hero from Moonstones and he's hiding it. And this is a team that needs star shards. He would want 2 at least for this team. So this guy, I don't know. Yo, that's sus as hell. That is sus right there, sir. Caleb, Vivienne is amazing against high-end teams. Absolutely amazing. She has been tested to hell and back. She's really good. Moonstone is above Big Boss? Then what is he hiding? Hi, Karma. What is he hiding? Is it accidental in taking the screenshot? This is... Moonstone is above Big Boss. Is it? Actually, I can't tell. I actually can't tell. I went back to go look at some other accounts, and I can't tell. It is? Why? Why do you do this to me? This is... Karma, that was the first thing I mentioned when I saw this guy's team. Why do you do this to me? What is the mystery of this? This is straight mystery. I am so intrigued. I am so intrigued. Especially if he had to, like... If he had to take a screenshot off his phone, you had to scroll down and then make the motion to take the screenshot. You have to actually put in effort to take a screenshot like this. Like, I can't do that on Nox. I actually cannot do it because I need the mouse to hit the screenshot button. That is... Yo, that is sus. Alright. So if he didn't buy... If he already bought both his things with Moonstones, then we don't take away points for that. Why do you do this to me? Alright, so he's got a Mars skin, which is crazy, but he's also got Valkyrie. So very interesting choice there. Ninja Sun, he could be just a really old player. That's actually more likely, is that he's a very old player that because of Dro. Okay. So this is not a good team. Mars is not reliable. He did have Unity. He did... This is a very old player. But it's not a good team. Seven and a half, maybe? We'll give it a 7.5. It's... Vang, you would want to have 800 something right now. Pushing for Kurt Chesia Scold. I would not be pushing for Chesia with this team. Kurt for sure. A second Scold is nice, but whatever. Kurt is by far and away the best one you need right now. Alright. That's... How did he do it? You have to try really hard. And even if I tried to do that on my phone, I don't know that I could. Like, voice command would still pop up something to activate the screenshot. Holding the power and down button would still deactivate your scrolling. How did he do it? iOS user? Maybe. I don't know how you take screenshots on iOS. Alright, so this is Patris. Okay. Now, last Lucian, if he's an old player, we got 2 red skins for free. 3, actually, because 1 was in a secret treasure. Alright, so Patris says, who do I go with after Verthandi? Freya, Valkyrie, or Laurel. No, not Lorelei. Freya or Valkyrie. Either one is fine. Freya is probably a little bit more fun. Shift Windows S, but the Windows button will disable your scroll. Although, maybe you just straight up hit print screen. But then it would record your mouse. Now, if you assigned like some other shortcut to screenshots, maybe. I don't know what you're talking about, Karma. Foddering this Ripper sounds perfectly okay to me. All right, so this guy will get an 8. Now we'll give him an 8.5. He's on the right track. You say time to move on, but it bothers me. Oh, it bothers me. Also, Drogenis, I'm really itching to play a fighting game lately. I haven't decided what. Just to get the feeling of the stick in my hands, because I haven't played one in a while. But the only PS4 games I have is maybe BlazBlue? Like, I don't even have Guilty Gear Rev 2 on PS4. I have Xrd and Xrd Sign on PS3. Nah, Karma, I'm up for it. J. Perez. J. Perez. Does that fit on this line? Not really. Squalzy Hodor is just good. He doesn't need teammates at defensively. He doesn't need help. Huh. Huh. Here, Karma, your favorite. But I don't have Xrd on PS4. I don't know that I would buy it again. And I don't want to bust out my PS3 for it. Okay, let's see here. What? So Karma, you see this Kurt as tank? You want to keep that statement? You want to maintain your statement that he's a good player? Okay. I'd probably use Freya over Themis. Alright, good night, Drogenis. Thanks for stopping in. Alright, so this team, Kurt Tank is a huge minus. Probably tank Vivienne. I would probably suggest Freya over Themis. Maybe over Luna or Medusa. Any one of those three can be safely replaced with Freya. My attack layout doesn't matter. I'm good with layouts either way. BlazBlue, though, the super motion is the same. So, like, court half circle back forward. Guarov, I have times, yes. Sometimes I get bored. Sometimes I get annoyed with things, but I just get through it. Take it easy, Kitty. Thanks for stopping in. Alright, so this team, I guess it would get like a 7.5, I guess. Maybe a 7. We'll give it a 7, but I'm going to take away half a point for Kurt Tank. Freya and Medusa do work well together. But Freya's got to be faster than Medusa. And that only works up to 10 stars, and then Medusa is trash after that point. So you don't even care about it after that point. So J Perez will give you a 6.5. Please don't tank with Kurt. But Ripper as your first T4 is a great idea if you can do that. Otherwise, Freya is a good one. Otherwise, that's it. You also may or may not consider using your Khalil as a fodder in here just to give yourself an extra boost, but that one's not required. He helps, but is more for a gimmick than to actually be good. Hey Angel, thanks so much. And you are definitely too late to submit this time, unfortunately. I don't know, Karma. I haven't seen one yet. Why is that not playing? Oh, I'm sure it'll play eventually. There we go. This is Andied. Why? Okay, take your 9 and go. Take your 9 and go. Why? Wow, T4 Yig level 178. What even are you doing? The best replacement for... I guess you pretty much just want a Bale or a second Skuld at this point. Can I give it a 9.5 just because of Themis, though? I feel like it's kind of strong enough to support that. Actually, an Azathoth would be nice for you, too. Alright, we'll keep it a 9. 9.5 worthy? I'm thinking that, but I'm not sure. Yeah, okay. The Themis more than makes up for the Freya, so... But yeah, Bale, Azathoth, second Skuld would all help this team. Alright, basic blue, I believe was 30. Yeah, but he's got Themis. That makes up for it. Themis is strong enough to work on that. Angel, I don't want to take team questions in chat today. During team critique days, I can't take team questions. Oh! Oh! Karma! Karma, you got one! You got one! You got one. Alright. This is a good setup. This is a very good setup. Wait! Oh, and he bought Artifact. That's not +1. It's just not -1. Alright, alright. Alright. But he's also using Mars. Mars is like... He's not good before 10 stars. I'd rather use the Laurel. Aside from that, I would definitely suggest using the Laurel in place of the Mars. Aside from that, it's a solid team. Aside from that, it's very solid. Alright, Angel, very quickly replace Freya. Alright, so because Karma wants it to be a 9.9, I'm going to give it an 8.5. You've got a good direction with this team. Wait, your question? Oh, I see. 9-star food is Dro worth 10-star or feed next 10-star will be Vig or Vet. You may not want to make any more 10 stars. You may want to just throw all your 9-star fodders into Ripper and just finish him. He's good. And yes, you can feed Dro. Dro is not great. I missed your question because it was at the start rather than at the end. So, yeah, fodder Dro. Just focus everything on Ripper. Finish of T4 Ripper and it'll be great. he's a very, very solid first T4. Alright, next is Roman. Not too many bullies. Oh, Roman's still got that Saizo. Thanks again, Angel. And good night, Drogenis. Alright. So we got like 10 more, so I'm just gonna burn through this. Okay. Alright, so he loses a point for this. I'm thinking 8.5. Yeah, Pogi is Steven Jones. Oh, wait, it is a Yig, huh? Good point. Alright, Yig is a pass. But Yig is T2. Why do you stop it? Why? What is the point of taking him to T2? T1 is the break point. T3 is the break point. T2 means you willfully did something stupid. You willfully put a 9-star into him after the correct breakpoint. So you know what? I'm going to take a point off for that. All Poison Team? Poison Team is too slow in this meta. Burst destroys Poison Teams. Like, if you were going to make Yig, you build him to T1 and you stop. That gets you the free copy. T3 gets you the Moonstones. T2, waste of a 9-star. He's not even leveled, so you had no intention of really using him and focusing on him. So this is just like you threw away a 9-star for no reason at all. So you lose a point for that. No, Aviral, we're saying because of Yig is an awakening event, any hero that's an awakening event gets a pass and doesn't count against the minus points. But because he willfully made him T2, he ends up losing the point anyway. If he was T1 or T3, it would have been fine. But because it's T2. Alright, so this team, I would have given it an 8. This is unreliable. This is very unreliable and dies to burst. But maybe an 8.5 if it works against... Now, there is a few people that have been trying to show off Saizo, but I'm iffy. I don't believe it. So I would have given him an 8, I guess. Minus a point for your Yig, so we'll give Roman a 7. Phoenix is still good. He's just not required anymore. That's all. He's good, but not like at the highest level of good anymore. That's all. Having him is still better than not having him for people that are building their first team. Roman has had that Saizo for a long time. So he's kind of a running gag. Okay. This is Albon. Take your 9.5 and go. Wait, take your 9 actually. That's a Freya. How do they use Saizo? Giant Lizard is a good option. Ragnarok is a good option. Any of those is viable. Like what? How do you explore from this? You get Azathoth, Bale, another Kurt, a Themis, and any of those, and replace Freya. That's how you improve. That's the highest tier there. Even Vivienne. So Vivienne, Azathoth, Bale, Themis, another Kurt, another Skuld are your options at this point. Hodor... I don't know if Hodor's enough. He's only got one Kurt. He doesn't have enough damage to counterburst them back. That's a 50 of one, or 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Pudul, he's S tier support, defensive in PvP. He's very good for anti-burst. It's not that I take out points for Freya. It's that Freya is not at the highest level of PvP. Meaning, if you want to compete on the highest level, Freya's not there. Once you've got Kurt Skuld, you're at the highest level. Or you're on your way to the highest level. But if you have a Freya and they have a Bale, you lose. Most of the time. Almost all of the time. Okay. Convert Freya to Bale. I wouldn't convert because Freya is key to getting through like Den and Planet Trial. So I would make Bale from scratch. Hodor tank is good, yes. Alright, this is Durango. I mean, yeah, Alban, that's fine. Hi, Eve. You might want a Star Shards on Vegvasir, though. But if you replace Freya, then you can take her Star Shards and give it to someone else. Four people with energy is fine. Alright, so... Phoenix is T1, but that's his only one. So he's working on Phoenix. That's fine. Tears of the Goddess and Secret Treasure for 10,000. That actually never happened. It happened on the Chinese server, and I think it was 15,000, and it did not come to the global server. We all got ours from a different event altogether. I feel like it was a collection event. Phoenix Stones for Phoenix, not worth it. But for Skuld is also not worth it because you can only get to 10 stars. So just wait at this point. Veg slower than Freya. It honestly doesn't matter either way. Both of them hit all 6, and both of them have a decent chance of petrify or a hard crowd control. I don't think it matters which one fires first. Did we get it for 10,000? I don't remember anymore. I know we got one for free. I just don't remember the event. But if you say it was for 10,000, then I guess so. I just know that the very, very first time it came out, it was on the Chinese servers in a secret treasure in like a 15,000 package, and we didn't get it. Alright, so having no Skuld hurts this team a lot. Hodor for Detlaf T4? No, I would keep Detlaf. He's still really good for bosses. And if you're making Hodor, remember that you get the Awakening events right now. If you converted Hodor, you will miss all of them. So you'll miss the free copy, you'll miss all the 5-star shards, you'll miss the rune dust that you don't care, and the diamond key. You're throwing all of those away. And Hodor doesn't need to be max leveled either. If he's T4, he can be like level 180, 160, and he'll do great. So this team, I'm going to give it a 7. I'm going to give it a 7. Alban, I would not convert Freya. I already said that. Freya is very important for Den and Planet Trial. Until you have 2 Kurts. So Durango, I would suggest, or Martin, I would suggest you just wait. Don't worry about your moonstones until a little bit later. Phoenix is not worth them, so ideally you get more copies of Skulled Kurt and work on them. Alright, next is Gyrus. So yeah, Karma, it gets a 7 because he's going to lose to all the Skulled teams, basically. Oh-ho! Alright, alright. Alright. Let's see here. I want to suggest you stop working on the Rillia. The Vegvasir will do fine as a tank. And Vegvasir can be bought for souls as well. But maybe not do that. Angel Yig is the best of them. Like, Aegina is not high priority anymore at all. Okay, so emo, I think it means that when they heal others, it increases the healing by 25. Because if it was increasing the healing that they received, it would be worded like Baal or Azathoth, which is increased suffered healing or something like that. With souls, I would guess he should prioritize Freya. So you should be prioritizing Freya and Vegvasir for now. But I know you don't have copies of them. And Veg is not on the wheel. Was Rag ever in Moonstones? No. Never. It would be worth like 600 Moonstones, maybe. If they ever did it. Like, I don't think 400 is enough for that. It would have to be a insanely high number. And even then, I feel like 600 is a bargain for it. What would you switch for Rillia? At this time, it almost doesn't matter. Emo Eternal Grail is amazing for Vivienne. I mean, Aegina is an option, Laurel is an option, Themis is an option, but it's going to be very hard to finish those heroes. Even Medusa is fine up to 9 stars. So souls, you think Detlaf, huh? I feel like looking at this, it's hard for me to push Detlaf because it's going to take him a really long time to make him good. Angel Ragnarok is just, it's worth the cost. That's why it's so expensive, because it's so good. And the one next week is like almost $200, so I'm not getting it either. Udkar's T1 attack, T2 damage reduce, T3 doesn't matter. T3 is whatever you want. You have 1 copy of Freya? Okay, well, focus on Freya and Detlaf, whichever one you can get up to 10-star T4 first. Choose that one as the one to take to T4. Either one is fine. Detlaf will perform better, but is going to be worse for you until he's T4. So it depends on how long you can wait. If you know that taking a T4 is going to take you a long time, which I think it will, Freya is better. If you think that you will be able to focus really hard on Detlef to get him to T4 more quickly, then you work on him. So it's kind of on your play style. Map Mom, I think it's going to be easily $200. Potentially more, but also depending on your pre-idol and also depending on your luck with the blackjack. And a lot of that is just nobody knows. So I would say bare minimum 190. Bare minimum, I think. Energy over... No, do not put energy on Kurt. If you don't know why you're putting energy on Kurt, don't put energy on Kurt. It's very... Oh, I didn't give him a score. I didn't give him a score. Hold on. His score... A 5? I guess a 5. It's decidedly average. It's not bad. 5 means you are smack dab in the middle. Alright. This is Momo H. Oh, man. Man, Azathoth tears this team apart. Azathoth completely kills this team. Okay, so I would tank with Vivienne, which is not necessarily better, but is a little more useful. Oops, I don't need that. And here's the rest of his bag. Actually, I would suggest using Vegvasir over probably Laurel. Tank Vegvasir. Bone Grip on Verthandi is fine if she's tanking. But Gift of Creation is better. I wonder about this Monkey King. It's very interesting. Over Freya as well. Yeah, I guess. So throw in the veg. Replace either Freya or Laurel. Your call. We'll give this a 9. But know that Azathoth destroys you. You have too much healing support around Kurt. And that's just going to get him killed. Oh, and he's even building his own... Wait a minute. I see a T1 Phoenix and a T3 Azathoth. Somebody loses... Oh, wait, no. Azathoth was Awakening event. Ah, I can't. That's... I was so happy to take away the point, and I have to give it back. Yeah. I know. He gets the pass. I don't want to, but you get it. By the way, quick reminder to people that I do have this that I want to be opening on stream someday. That I don't think people other than the early visitors saw it. So this is a Japanese booster box. 30 packs of... It's not Vivid Voltage. It's something else. What is that? Kyoten no Boruteka. I will be opening this on stream at some point. I need to figure out how to set up a second camera. So me and my girlfriend will be opening this at some point. Okay, so this gets a 9. Put in Vegvasir, take out Freya or Laurel. Your call. Either one's fine. I don't think Charizard is in this set, actually. Charizard is not in this set. It's only the fat Pikachu. What's up, Teddy? Okay, next is AR. We are closing in on the end. Last boss, do you know how many more are after you? 3 more after you? Okay, let's get through them quick. Okay, what the heck is... Dude, Fat Pikachu is amazing. I have the card, actually. I don't have the super rare version, but I have a Fat Pikachu card. When do I start Xenoblade? I have to get it in the mail first. But as soon as I finish Gunvolt, it'll be the next game after that. There should only be like... Alright, let's see here. What am I looking at? I see a T3 Freya and a T3 Yig. And what? And a T1 Azathoth and a T... Oh my god. And they don't... You don't lose a point for that. But you are a terrible player for building every single one of these. And then abandoning all of them. Like, you could have had a T4 Freya. And instead you decided to throw it away for all of this. And he skipped Hodor. And he skipped Watchman. So he T1'd Azathoth. He skipped Watchman. He T3'd Yig. He T1'd Arwen. And then skipped Hodor. And all that time, he also skipped Freya. I have to assume that some of this was bad decisions. Emo, it's none of those. My next one is probably going to be Vivienne. I can't give a pass. Like, there's no logical way that any of that makes sense. That you couldn't take 2 weeks off to make a... You skipped Watchmen. Why didn't you T4 the... Why didn't you T4 the Freya then? You skipped Hodor. Why didn't you T4 the Freya then? Like, you are willfully... I think he's willfully skipping the Freya. I think he's going out of his way to skip Freya. So no, you lose at least 1 point for that. We will take away 1 point. So Emo, I don't have full copies of Arwen or Hodor. Well, he didn't take Hodor he didn't take him to T1. And I'm assuming he has the copies. What? What's my typo? I don't see the typo. Nope, he's Hodor. That is his name, and his name is Hodor. I will never spell his name correctly. He is Hodor to me. That means he wasted his keys on a hero that he didn't even build. Pirate King T2 should be damage reduced for everybody. Wait, last boss, you see this Skuld right here, right? This is a T4 Skuld. Alright, so you lose at least 1 point for that. As far as the team itself, why is Phoenix in the back? Okay, so I'm not going to take away a point for that, but Phoenix should be in the front. I'm going to give this team an... I guess I would give it an 8.5. But I would suggest moving the Phoenix to the front. So how many points do we deduct? How many times has he skipped over this Freya? How many times do you think he skipped over this Freya to make all of this stuff? I guess we'll just take away 1 point. I feel like he should lose more than 1 point, but we'll be nice. Good night, Angel. Thanks for stopping in. 8 fuse cycles? I feel like he skipped him ever since Azathoth. But Themis came after Azathoth, and he didn't make any Azathoth. Free to play can, especially at this era, they can 10-star things. So we'll just take away 1 point. See, but Dinker, be going out